Well, I am not driving. I'm just sitting in the car at the hospital and thought I would try to do a video to give you another update on Ken. Stay tuned. Hi, and welcome to my channel. I thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. I came out of the hospital to take a little break and thought I would try to put together a video to update you all on Ken. I can't tell you how thankful I am to all your beautiful comments from my video of last week telling you about what happened to Ken. Your prayers just mean the world to me, and they have done so much good. I am very sorry I haven't been able to respond, but there's no way I can. I'm gone every day, all day, and I just can't get to the comments. So I hope you understand. But I read them all, I hearted them all, and I just love you all for being so very kind. So Ken is still here at Savannah Memorial Hospital in the trauma center in the ICU department, and he has been here 16 days now. He has had no food, no water, no nothing. I do have some good news. They took the ventilator off about, oh gosh, maybe 4 days ago. And then the 2 chest tubes were taken out. Those are positive signs. He still has the feeding tube up his nose and down into his stomach because he can't swallow. So they're giving him nutrition through the feeding tube. The reason he can't swallow is twofold. Number one, he's so weak. The muscles are so weak that he just can't move his mouth right to do it. And his mouth is so dry, it's just all stuck together from not having any liquids. I can swab his mouth out with a sponge at the tip of a stick, but that just kind of moistens the inside, and it doesn't even last 2 minutes, and he's all dried up again. The other reason he can't swallow is due to the head injury. I had no idea the two were related, but I was told by the doctor that it was, so I Googled it myself, and it really is true. That's one of the main things that happen with a head injury is you can't swallow. Now, I don't know if that's because of where he hit his head, if it's affecting the part of the brain that tells you to swallow. I don't know enough about it. But that is a very big issue. So they're going to give him the swallow test one more time, and that's tomorrow morning. I think, yeah, Monday morning. Today's Sunday. My days are all mixed up. They've been giving him this swallow test for well over a week, and he just can't pass it. So they'll give him like a little couple drops of water and teach him how to swallow. He has to like put his head down to his chest, tuck his chin down, and then take a deep gulp to swallow. And he just can't pass the test. So they have to keep the tube in until he can. So tomorrow morning, they're going to give him one more chance to swallow. And if he still can't, then they are going to do surgery and they will insert the feeding tube. It's like a permanent feeding tube into his stomach, and then they can take that one out of his nose. So he can at least be fed that way through the tube in the stomach, and he will be more comfortable because he won't have that big tube going down his throat. Also, if he can get that feeding tube out, then I can have him moved to Encompass. Encompass is a rehabilitation hospital, and you have to be in really bad shape to get in there, and it has to be by referral, which I did get the referral. That way he'll still be in a medical facility with doctors and nurses and being treated medically, but he'll also receive several hours a day of intense therapy, all different kinds of therapies, breathing therapy, speech therapy, swallowing therapy, physical therapy, just all the ones that you need to get your body to come back after laying in a bed for 16 days so far. Another good thing about him being moved to Encompass Rehab Hospital is he will just be a mile from our home. So it will be a much easier drive to get over and see him, because right now it's taking us 50 minutes to get to the hospital and 50 minutes to get back home. So, that's almost 2 hours of being on the road every day, day in and day out. He wants to get up so bad. He wants to eat and drink so bad. And he's so frustrated because he can't. But until he can do the things that are required, they can't give him anything. He's had a lot of delirium, and they said that's also very common in ICU. In fact, there's an actual term for it called ICU delirium. I never heard of that, so of course I Googled it and researched it, and it is true. And I think just the fact that, he's been in that bed so long, his arms and hands have been restrained, so he's tied down because he keeps ripping the tube out of his nose. Not on purpose, but it's just, I guess, a natural reaction when you feel something foreign going up your nose and down the back of your throat. So being tied down like that, it just affects your mind in a big time way. There has been no additional blood on the brain, which is a very good sign. And he's on very little oxygen now. He's still on it, but they have it turned down really low, so he's almost off of oxygen. So that is my latest update. Things are a little better, but yet they haven't changed in the area that he's still in the hospital and still in the ICU unit. So we're just taking it day by day. Boy, I can tell you, I don't know what it's like where you are, but it has been so extremely hot here. And, when you're in the hospital, you're in air conditioning. But when you come outside to take a break or get a breath of fresh air, my goodness, that heat would knock you over. We went to get in the car the other day, and it said it was 99 degrees. And when we opened the doors, it was like a rush of heat came out the doors, like when you open an oven. So it's very hot. If Ken is able to be moved to the Encompass Rehab Hospital and get that tube out of his nose, then once he gets settled there, I'll do another update. And also, my family was here all last week for 8 days. And unfortunately, we couldn't be home because we wanted to be in the hospital with Ken. But they all had a great time. They entertained themselves. We got to see them in the evenings. And so it worked out really well. And my daughter-in-law, Nina, she's the one that came down. And she was married to my son, Nathan, but they've been divorced for, 12 or so years. She comes every July and every December. So it was her and then her 3 sons, Tristan, Luke, and Noah. And Tristan is the one that lives here in the casita at our house. And then Tristan and Luke each had their girlfriends here. So it was a full house, and like I said, they had a good time. They got to do everything they wanted, go to the beach, go to Savannah, go to the outlets, do all the things, and we got to see them in the evenings. And Dave got to take them out to dinner a few times when we got home. Of course, you know I didn't go because I don't go to restaurants, and I am just exhausted. But I'll do a video soon on their visit and show you some pictures and some of the things that they did and we were able to do together in the evenings. Hopefully next week I will be able to start posting my regular videos on Tuesdays and Fridays. But it all depends on what happens with Ken, so I'm just playing that by ear. So I thank you so much again for all your prayers and all your love and support. And now I'm going to leave you with an inside beauty tip. My inside beauty tip comes from Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That just came to my mind for the last several days because each day you feel more and more drained, and it just hurts your heart to see someone that you love suffering so much and being so miserable and uncomfortable. And some days I think, oh, I just can't do this another day because it just hurts my heart so much to see Ken going through this. So it came to my mind, hey, wait a minute. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. And that's not some things, most things, some of the times, most of the times. It's all things at all times. And when you think your strength is completely depleted, that you have none left, well, you probably don't. However, God's strength comes in and equips you to go on each day and do everything that you can and you need to do to help someone else. And God has taken such good care of me. I mean, running back and forth every day for 16 days and, you know, you don't eat the same, you don't sleep the same, and I'm doing fine. Yes, I'm tired, but He gets us through things that we think are impossible to get through. So I am just extremely thankful, and I praise God that He has given me the strength and is carrying me each and every day. And He is carrying Ken as well, because Ken is still here. He's alive. He survived such a tragedy that is unimaginable. that you wouldn't think a human being could survive, especially someone who will be 80 in September. You know, your body just doesn't heal and come back and can't take the shock and the stress as well as it can when it's 40, 50, 60, whatever. But he's still with us and he's fighting hard. So I am just extremely grateful, and I am relying on that strength each and every day. And I know that I have it. I have no question that God will keep me equipped with His strength, His love, His mercy, and His compassion. I thank you so much for being here today. I truly do appreciate it. And until we meet again, this is the old girl signing out. See ya.